All right, I wanted to hop on here real quick and just sort of talk about today. And this is like a prime example of absolutely doo-doo price action. It's not the worst, but it's pretty shit to be honest with you. Like if you take a look at this, we are just consolidating, man. We are consolidating. Not much is happening. A lot of PD arrays are failing, and yeah, man, it's sort of just search and destroy, taking highs, taking lows, yada yada yada. It's just not the cleanest, and these are the days that people are gonna get chewed up. These are the days where if you're not careful and you don't have good patience, you're gonna get absolutely smoked. So, just sort of going over the title of the video, how to snap your losing streak, how to get out of a losing streak. The first thing I'll say is don't try to trade shitty PA. Don't try to trade shitty PA. And I feel like my day is the perfect day to go over and sort of just talk about the discipline I had and the fact that I was willing to sit on my hands after taking a loss. And because of that, I avoided getting chewed up. Whereas in the past, I would try to revenge trade in these conditions, and because of it, that's how my losing streaks would start. There would be no rhyme or reason to anything I was doing. I would just be getting smoked over and over again because I feel like the market owed me something. So looking at the play I took today, sorry, I'm as sick as a dog right now, so bear with me. But looking at the play today, I was looking at the higher time frame, and this is what I saw. So let's go back here. So in the morning, I noticed that we swept these equal lows, these London lows. We put in a order block right here. Let's mark that puppy up. Put in a order block, and then we broke through that order block and retested it. This is a breaker block right here. So this is a very clean and very beautiful breaker block. So I was looking to go bullish off of this higher time frame breaker, and I was looking to target the London highs for the session. So we take the lows, we tap back into that breaker, and now I start looking for a reversal. And this was the first play I saw. So I like this play just because we come back down, we tap into a 5. That 5 is also basically lines up with that 15-minute breaker. So we're holding two very bullish PD arrays here, and I'm expecting these to take us to London highs. So I drop down onto the 1 minute. There you can see we get our first retest. So we test the breaker, we put in a fair value gap here, we inverse it, and I enter on this candle close, and I'm looking to take this puppy to the upside there for about 30 points. Let me just get the P&L tool in this John. So this was basically the play I was looking to take, and unfortunately I got stopped out. I followed my rules for the day, which is great. This candle closed back below this 1 minute gap, and I exited the position. So that was the first loss on the day, and it was a small loss. Again, it's so important to keep your losses small. You got to learn to preserve capital. But then I hopped on the 2 minute, and really I should have seen this earlier. Again, I've been a bit out of it, no excuse, but just wasn't really on the ball too much today. Anyway, so we had this 2 minute here, and I saw that we were holding this 2 minute. So rather than taking the 1, I really should have just waited for the 2. So that's what I did. I re-entered the position here. Stop loss below this gap. Again, targeting these highs for a nice 1 to 3. And because we took the internal high here, I decided to put my stop to break even. So we sweep this high. Price comes back down. Bang, wicks me out. And I was out of that position, got stopped out at break even. Now, back in the day, if I were to take a loss and then a break-even trade just to watch price reverse in my favor and hit my take profit, I would have been super salty, and I would have felt like the market owed me something, and I would have started revenge trading. And that's when I would have got chewed up in this. I mean, look at this. It's just ugly, 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 ugly. We have equal lows below. I'll mark those up for you. We have a set of equal lows below. We have equal highs above. Equal highs above. So you just really don't know where price wants to go. There's no reason to be trading any of this. I realized I made a little mistake waiting for, I should have waited for the 2 minute rather than the one, but that's okay. I was okay with that loss. I took my break even like a champ, and I felt no ways about it. I realized that price was sort of dilly-dallying. We took New York high and we started consolidating. So what did I do? I watched price for 10, 15 minutes with Spencer, and then I shut my computer, man. It's so important to be able to shut your computer and just wait for tomorrow, wait for the next trading session. This is such a common issue. It was a huge issue of mine, and it was just simply revenge trading. Revenge trading, forgetting about the higher time frame, um, and just basically taking any setup I saw to try to make my money back. These days, I don't do that. I'm okay with the small loss on the day. I learned my lesson, and I just close my computer. That's it. That's it. No need to beat myself up. Just go out and enjoy my day. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That's sort of how you can avoid those large losing streaks. That's how you can sort of get out of a big funk. And one more thing I will say is if you are willing to sit through the chop, one thing you need to look for is, or one thing you need to wait for is for price to hit those higher time frame PD arrays. So for example, on the 15-minute chart here, and again, I hopped on a little bit later and I just tape readed some of this for fun. But what I was looking for was a pullback into discount of this 15-minute, and then I would have waited for a reaction out of that. So there's no point trying to trade the chop until you're in a very obvious PD array, and then maybe you can start looking for plays. But again, better to just sit on your hands and do nothing. You could be sort of emotional after taking a loss on the day, and quite frankly, I don't like to trade after 10:45, 11. I just my trading goes downhill after that time. So I was simply just watching. But as you can see, we do get a pullback to this 15-minute. There you go. You hit this 15, and then that's when you can then drop to the lower time frame and start looking for plays to the upside, because that's when the bias for you can just become a lot more clear. Now you know that you're in that higher time frame PD array, so now you can start potentially looking for longs. You either hold the 15-minute or break through, and if you were to break through, in that case, that's a good indication to go short. In this case, we hold it. We still have these equal highs above. We swept these equal lows, so this could have been your drawn liquidity. 3-minute gap here. I believe that's the highest time frame gap. You get that close above, and you could have went long there. So yeah, that's basically the rundown on the day. That is my advice to you. If you constantly find yourself in a losing streak, odds are you're just trying to trade shitty price action. Like if you do have a system that you know works and you've backtested it, but you still happen to keep losing, you're just not being patient and you're trying to trade shitty conditions. And yeah, man, this has saved me so much in the past. And I guess I'll end off on, less is more. Less is more. There's no need, no reason to be making 4 or 5 trades a day. Look for one good setup, maybe two, and roll the dice on those A-plus setups. No point taking any of this crap in here. Stay away from that. So yeah, that's basically it. That's a rundown on today. I'll show the executions on the Tradovate just to show you guys I'm not full of crap. But yeah, it was a bit of a tricky day. I know a lot of other guys sort of sat on their hands, and sometimes that's what you need to do.